Turn the ceiling fan on.
No, it's fine. Okay. All right. So everybody has their individual rankings that they did for step 1, right?
Yep.
Okay. So now we need to do our team ranking. So as a team, as a group, we need to figure out what would be the best things to keep, to have what order. What did y'all put for number 1?
A 25-liter container of water.
Me too.
Yeah.
What'd you put, Wyatt?
The water.
Okay, so we'll put 1 on water for the step 2. Put 1 for that. All right. What did y'all put for number 2?
An ocean fishing kit and pole.
The case of army rations.
Yeah, I put the army rations as well, Isabella. Because,
why?
well, you could eat them for at least a case of them. You could use them for food, or you could use them to catch something.
If you had the ocean kit, you'd have a more sustainable.
Huh?
The ocean kit would be a more sustainable resource.
But you might be missing out on certain nutrients, like the army rations are, I imagine, like MREs, like meals ready to eat, that are usually good for the whole day.
All right. So yeah, do y'all want to put number 2 on army rations?
I guess.
Yeah.
All right. What do y'all have for number 3?
For me, that was the case of army rations.
I put the fishing kit as number 3.
I have the quantity of mosquito netting. I fear if you've got the water and the food, next you need to protect yourself from malaria.
Well, I didn't know how big of a problem is mosquitoes hundreds of miles out at sea.
It's more concerning with food, since you don't know how long you're going to be out. You're not going to have a very big risk of catching diseases from mosquitoes to begin with, so it's not really that important, especially in the middle of an ocean.
Because isn't malaria more of a blood transmitted disease, through mosquitoes? Would that be a big problem out in sea?
I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna put what did y'all say, the fishing pole and kit as number 3?
Yeah.
I think so. Making sure we have enough nutrition and don't run out of energy while we're on the raft.
Okay. Well, what should be number 4?
I put a small transistor radio.
I put the nylon rope because I felt like that would be more useful than the radio.
For what?
In case we need to make repairs or tie stuff up on the rope on the boat. If we need to tie stuff down if we get into a storm or something.
What did you put?
I put the radio.
I feel like the radio would be better since we have food and water covered and a more sustainable, a more long-term solution for food with the ocean kit. The transistor radio would be the next most important thing, so we can finally start making contact and trying to handle the situation permanently.
All right, so we're putting number 4 as radio. All right. What should we do for number 5?
On mine, I put a sextant.
I put the shaving mirror. Not to shave with, but in case we see a plane flying overhead or a ship out at sea, we can try signaling them.
I put the rum.
Yeah.
Because
explain your answer.
Well, what if you're injured and you could use it as alcohol as a cleaning to clean something, or you might, I don't know, is that something you
I
could
feel like in this situation, while the rum would be important for injuries, it won't be as important as trying to know where you are, especially if at this point you're communicating in the best scenario, you're communicating using the radio with the outside world. And you're going to need some sort of navigation device to actually utilize that communication.
But like I felt like the navigation stuff wouldn't be as useful because it says we're hundreds of miles out to sea and we don't know where we are.
that's what I thought as well.
If we don't know where we are, and there's nothing but ocean all around us, assuming that we're able to control our direction here instead of just aimlessly floating, there's a good chance that we will just go in a large circle if we're not sure what we're doing.
What about the transistor radio? Is that the type that you can communicate to people, or you're just going to be able to listen?
A transistor, I'm assuming that means it's a two-way communication unit.
I just didn't value it highly because I didn't know if it was battery powered or a hand crank.
Yeah, I didn't value it highly either because I was like, how are we going to...
We've passed the transistor radio. We decided that was 0.4.
I know, but that was my question, was if you were using the sextant to try to navigate yourself, how would you be able to communicate to people? I didn't know if that was the type of radio that you could communicate or not.
So between the shaving mirror and the navigation tool, which one should we go for?
I don't know. I had the shaving mirror down further on my list, but I thought the same thing, like Wyatt said, that it would be good to alert airplanes and stuff. But for some reason, it was lower on my list of importance.
I suppose we can go with the shaving mirror for number 5.
What do you... All right. And so then what would be number 6?
I had on number 6 maps of the ocean.
Well, we can go back to the other things that we haven't used. So if you want to extend to be...
I think we should then put the navigation tool on for number 6.
Okay.
Small navigation. What are we playing for number 6? The sextant?
Yeah.
So we can understand like where we're going.
I had the transistor radio at number 6.
So for 7, I had 20 square feet of opaque plastic sheeting in case of rains, because if it rains above you and you end up catching cold or getting sick some other way, it would be particularly bad at sea.
Mm-hmm. That's what I had for 7 as well. Like, it would be good for shelter and also help visibility of other people trying to see you.
Okay, so we're gonna put that as number 7.
Yeah, I assume so.
Okay.
For number 8, I put a can of shark repellent. I'm not sure how much of a danger sharks are at this point, but I felt like it was a necessary precaution.
I thought it was a gimmick. I've never heard of shark repellent. What is...
I assume it repels shark, and even if it isn't a real thing in this hypothetical, it is.
I had the sextant at 8.
Well, y'all don't think the rum should be next, or the nylon rope?
Well, at this point, assuming that you're gathering food and you have a lot of supplies on your boat, it's possible that the fish, I'm not very well educated in sharks, but I'm assuming there's a chance that, assuming you've been cutting and cooking the fish, there's a small chance that you've been attracting or getting near sharks. And at this point, having a way to fend them off would be a better precaution than rope or rum.
But how long will a can last you?
Well, it's not really specified how large or how much is in it. For all we know, the can is permanent. Like, you apply it to the boat and it just has that effect. I still think that it's more useful than the other things. You're not particularly likely to be greatly injured, considering your supplies you don't have any particularly dangerous supplies on you, so it's more safe to fend off predators that are around you.
So we're going with shark repellent as number 8.
Yes, I assume.
Right.
Okay. For 9, I then put the rum.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so we'll
So
put 9.
just in case that, in the rare chance that there is in fact an injury, it would be best to have this.
Okay.
So for number 10, I had the mosquito netting, also for the reasons on the small chance that there is a disease-carrying mosquito, it would be best to have the netting.
Yeah, the negs I have at number 10. It'd be good for maybe like gnats or anything that we'd be bothered by while we're sleeping.
There's also a chance that bugs could be gathering, considering there are likely fish remains in the boat.
All right, so what's next?
Next, I had the 10-liter can of oil / petrol. I'm not certain if this would be viable, but I was thinking that perhaps maybe a fire could be lit using this.
Yeah, I had 11 as oil and petrol.
I had the maps of the Atlantic Ocean at 11. I don't know if that would be if we could find land. Maybe the oil and petrol would be useful to start fires.
Well, assuming we have matches, in this hypothetical we do have matches, so I'm assuming that we would be able to light small flames within the boat itself, and this would be how we would cook or lightly cook fish.
Okay. Okay, so we're putting oil as number 11.
Yeah. For number 12, I had the rope in case of any sort of needed knots for catching or repairs. The rope would be useful.
Okay. So you go with that, Wyatt?
Yeah.
So
Alright.
for 13, I put down 2 boxes of chocolate bars simply as an extra food source.
Then they're good with well, I know dark chocolate is good with antioxidants for like your immune system. And it'd be probably good for morale if we're stuck on the ship for extended times.
Okay, so 13 is chocolate. All right, so that leaves the maps and the seat cushion for 14 or 15.
So for 14, I feel like the maps would be most useful in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I have. Are there any other objections?
Well, I thought the floating seat cushion would be good if you didn't have a life preserver or something and you wanted to go for a swim or something.
I don't think, in this situation, I doubt that anyone is going to be risking leaving the boat, especially since there's already been a raised concern about sharks, and we have no apparent need to leave the boat. I was thinking that perhaps the seat cushion combined with the rope could be used as some sort of anchor once land is found, which is why I
It's a floating seat cushion. It doesn't sink.
no, I meant like to throw onto land.
I was thinking you could use it almost like a I forget what they're called, but like if someone falls out of the boat, if it's raining or storming, you can tie onto that
A life
cushion,
device.
throw it to
That could be useful. But it might be more useful to have the maps of the ocean combined with the navigation device in order to see what lands you're closest to and to avoid dangerous areas such as rocks or inhospitable landforms, and to find the best place to try and sail towards.
But I don't know how hard it would be to figure out where we are at just with
Assuming,
if we had something that could tell us our location by using like astronomy, but I don't know.
Well, what do y'all want to do?
At this point, I suppose the seat cushion used as a precaution if there is in fact a storm, which is likely in the ocean. I feel like that would be a slightly higher needed precaution than maps of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to put the seat cushion and then the maps of the ocean.
Yeah.
All right, so then next I'm going to give you, so according to the experts in this case, the U.S. Coast Guard, the basic supplies needed when a person is stranded mid-ocean are articles to attract attention and aid survival until rescue arrives. A transatlantic trip takes roughly 20 days, significantly less with good winds and significantly more without them. Articles for navigation are of little importance since even if a small life raft were capable of reaching land, it would be impossible to store enough food and water to survive for that amount of time. Without signaling devices, there is almost no chance of being spotted and rescued. So the list below is the ranking order of the items according to their importance to your survival. Okay, so I'm going to give you the rankings per the Coast Guard and write that down in step 3. Number 1 is the shaving mirror. Of all the items, the mirror is absolutely critical. It is the most powerful tool you have for communicating your presence. In sunlight, a simple mirror can generate 5 to 7 million candle power of light. The reflected sunbeam can even be seen beyond the horizon. All right. Number 2 is the 10-liter can of oil and petrol. The second most critical item for signaling. The mixture will float on water and can be ignited using the matches. Number 3 is the liter container of water. Vital to restore fluids lost through perspiration. 25 liters will supply water rations for your group for several days. Number 4 is the Army rations. This is your basic food intake. Number 5 is the 20 square feet of opaque sheeting.
I'm sorry, which was number 4?
The Army rations.
All right. Continue.
Number 5 is the plastic sheeting, which can be used to collect rainwater and shelter from the wind and waves. Number 6 is the 2 bars of chocolate.
2 boxes of chocolate bars.
Well, I'm thinking of Patrick and SpongeBob.
Continue.
Your reserve food supply, it says. Number 7 is the ocean fishing kit and pole, ranked lower than the chocolate as there is no guarantee that you will catch any fish. This pole might be used as a tent pole. Number 8 is the 15 feet of nylon rope. Could be used to lash people or equipment together to prevent being washed overboard. There are a variety of other uses, but none high on the list for survival. Number 9 is a floating seat cushion, which says useful as a life preserver if someone fell overboard. Number 10 is a can of shark repellent to repel sharks, of course. Number 11 is 1 bottle of 60 proof rum. Contains 80% alcohol, which means it can be used as antiseptic for injuries otherwise of little value. Very dangerous if drunk, as it will cause the body to dehydrate, the opposite of what you need to survive. All right. Number 12 is a small transistor radio. Where's the radio at? My list. Oh, there it is. You would be out of range of any radio stations, it says. Number 13 is the maps of the Atlantic, worthless without navigation equipment. Number 14 is a quantity of mosquito netting. There are no mosquitoes in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and the netting is useless for anything else, which is pretty much what y'all said.
Continue.
And number 15 is the sextant, useless without the relevant tables and a chronometer. Okay, now you're supposed to take step 4 is take the difference between step 1 and 3. So your answer for the sextant, subtract it from the Coast Guard, which is 15. So put that answer in there, whatever that answer is. It says to ignore negative signs.
So if it's going to go in a negative, just put 0.
I think is what it said. I don't remember where I saw that.
For each item, mark the number of points that your score differs from the Coast Guard ranking and then add up all the points. Disregard plus or minus differences. The lower the overall total, the better your score.
Okay, so it doesn't matter. It's just trying to get close to what they ranked. Whether you went over or under, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so put, like, if on the shaving mirror they've got 1, I've got 14, so I put minus 13?
No, you just put 13.
I put 13. Okay. And then when you get through, add up your total, and then we need to do our group ranking.
For step 4, my score was 66.
Hold on, I'm not through. I've done something wrong. Total up the group for us, Wyatt, since you're done with yours. All right. Are y'all done?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. What was your score?
I got an 82.
I got a 74. What would you get?
66.
Okay, so Isabel and I were over 70, which was very poor. Oh dear, your empty raft is washed up on the beach weeks after the search was called off.
Mm.
Wyatt, you were poor, not very poor, rescued, but only just in time.
I lived.
So what did our group number make?
Hold on, I haven't finished adding it. Let's see. 9, 4, 13, 4, 17, 19, 21, 23, 28, 37, 46, 48, 50, 52, 56, 63, 67. Is that right?
I guess I didn't add it up. So that's the same, rescued, but only just in time. All right, I think we're done. Anybody have anything else?
So being noticed is like the top priority, then surviving, and then way at the bottom is navigating or trying to get to land.
Yeah, so basically
So it's basically sort out your long-term solutions before sorting out how you want to get out of the situation.
it says
That should be it. Then,
because it says it takes roughly 20 days with the transatlantic trip, so you need to plan on
all right.
weeks at least.
Okay.
So all right, so I'm gonna hit stop recording, and